Let's go. Let's go. What is going on, everybody? It is great to have you with us. I am Justin with Purple and Gold for days. Rap doesn't even let me get the intro in before I had to, I was getting there. But what's going on, everybody? The Vikings have now won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in a row after starting out 1-4. 6 out of the last 7 games since starting out 0-3, and we back. Did we ever leave? I don't know. Everybody hit the like button on your way in. Wipe your feet at the door. Rap, how you feeling, brah?
What's good, everybody, man? Appreciate everybody tapping in for sure. Just like my boy Day said, man. Listen, we are excited, man. Listen, there is a lot of things that we got to witness today that we haven't seen in a long time as a Vikings fan. Now, there's some downs to this too, right? There is some downs to this game too, but you feel me? Hey, at the end of the day, man, hey, we on that purple Kool-Aid, man. Everybody put their glasses up tonight with us, man. Make sure you sipping that Kool-Aid extra slow. You got to have the pinky out too, man. Make sure y'all put the pinky out when y'all sip that shit.
Yeah,
put the pinky out.
There you go. All right, let's get some shouts. We got a lot of people in the building. We got some newcomers, and y'all know how we do it around here when we got newcomers. First off, Skull for Life Barber gets the honor of being the first one in the chat tonight. What's up? Get that fade going. We got an OG, the McAndrews in the building.
And the Ric Flair.
All right, y'all pay attention. We have got Christy in the building. This is the first time I've seen Christy in the chat. So everybody say hello to Christy, and we're going to give her one of these. We're going to give her one of these.
Give me 2 taps and the Ric Flair.
Everybody who joined me for Purple and Gold pregame, I was out of my element outside of the studios. We got the real setup back, so now we're not going to have the horn going on for 10 minutes straight before somebody tell me about it. Anyway, back to the shouts. Here we go. Yeah, that was a little bit of a disaster this morning. We got Grandpa Dave from Vikings First and Skull. Hit them up on YouTube as well as your favorite podcast aggregator. Great show by you, Tyler. This afternoon was absolutely special. Mary's in the building. What's going on, Mary? Mary, we still undefeated, Mary. We still undefeated.
Shout out Mary in the building. Shout out to Mary.
Dayon. What's going on? The Dobbs
Dayon in the building.
Yeah, they did. Let's see who else. Let's scroll on down here a little bit. We got Roger in the building. What's going on, Roger? Good to see you as well. We got the Skull Mafia in the building. Houston, we have a problem. You ain't lying.
Give me 2 taps and the Ric Flair.
We got Skull for Life. Thank you kindly for joining. We appreciate you as always. We got my guy Ryan. What's going on, Ryan? I'm sorry, I was driving back from up in the city, so I saw you. You text me, but I didn't have a chance to get you there. But thanks as always for joining. We appreciate you. We got Greg GMax72 in the building. Yes, we did win. Absolutely, we did. Should have been a blowout, and we're gonna talk about that. Like, why do we always do this to ourselves? But hey, a W is a W, ladies and gentlemen. We'll take it no matter how way we can get it. We got Shonda Bomb 16. What's going on? Haven't been here in 2 weeks. Well, we rotated. So if y'all ain't subscribed to both Purple and Go for Days and Purple Pocket Podcast, this way Justin remembers reversed, hit us up because we doing this every other week thing. Sometimes here, sometimes there. We appreciate you. James in the building. What's going on, James? Good to see you here as well. Thank you so kindly. We doing Dayon. We doing good. We doing good. 5 in a row. That's right, Mary. There we go. Fan 6 McMahon, what's going on? Hi, all. Half of a game against. Well, yes, it was a beautiful first half. Nothing went wrong. And then for some reason, we had to do something stupid and knock Derek Carr out of the game. And then all heck broke loose. But we'll talk about that. Yogi in the building. Give him a 2 claps. Would you go ahead, Yogi?
Shout out my boy Yogi, man. Shout out my boy Yogi.
2 taps and the Ric Flair.
Hey, real quick too, man. Yogi, you gave away that Kirk Cousins plaque. I'm gonna tell you that thing there gonna be a classic. You hear me? That shit gonna be, that gonna be some good memorabilia.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Memorabilia is right because it's gonna be a distant memory. Real quick, shout out Dylan. What's going on, Dylan? Let's go. Let's keep the skull alive. The skull ain't going nowhere. You are.
Hey, but Skull for Life Barber. Shout out to you though, man. I see you, brother. You won that, so shout out to you. Hang that thing up, Skull for Life Barber. You know what I mean? Hang it up, man. You support heavy. And I'm so glad that you were able to win that plaque, man, for sure.
Absolutely. So we got a shout out for Christy there. We got a shout out for, see, this is how we do it, Christy. Your first time in, everybody put your name in there and says hello, make you feel welcome. Anyway, moving on back to the shouts before I lose track of what I had. Oh, yeah, there we go. Ditter in the building. What's going on, Ditter? Thanks for joining us as well. Sign all the morning. Yeah, you ain't lying. You ain't lying. Shout out Young Cringe in the building. What's going on, Cringe? Good to see you here as well. KLC played Madden franchise on rookie difficulty. Well, in the first half he was. I'll give you that. But we'll talk about that here. We're almost done with the shouts, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, I did make it home safe. Thank you kindly, Dave. And like I said, back into my element. We got Sodak Kid in the building. What's going on, Sodak? Go ahead and hit him up.
So Dak, what going on, my guy? Let's go, man.
And a Ric Flair.
We got my guy T-Bass in the building. Justin during pregame show.
Let's go, man.
Saved by the bell post. That was a good line, T-Bass. That was a good line. Thank you, everybody, for joining me this morning. Oh, my gosh. It was, my audio was bad. I couldn't hear anything. It was just, well, you know how it goes. There it is. Two-Tone Tony, what's going on? Thanks for joining, as always. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. All right. I think, is there any more? Is there any more? We got Caesar in the building. What's going on?
Shout out Caesar in the building, man.
Hey, there we go. There we go.
Dobbs Lightyear. Hey, I'm liking that. I'm liking that, man. Look at Caesar with the goddamn.
Caesar, I might use that, man. I might use that one. I might use that in the title tomorrow. So I hope you don't copy
man. There you go, man. That's fire.
JDT 93, excuse me. What's going on? Good to see you, man. Good to see you as always. I'm gonna put this one up from Caesar. I'll let you handle that one.
Kirk sweating bullets. Yeah, man. So yeah, we'll get right into it, man. Listen. Y'all know how R.A. Peasy been feeling, man. Look, I've been wanting this for a long time, man. I'm talking about long time. I'm talking about 2018, goddammit. So I've been struggling, man, for the past 6 years. But I'm gonna tell you right now, seeing what we've seen today. Now, yes, there's things that need to be fixed too. And first thing is playing a full 60-minute game of football. You know what I mean, instead of 30 minutes. But yet, I'm telling you, man, Dobbs, I was down on him. Y'all know I did not like the move, but he making me eat crow, and I love it. You feel me? I love eating crow when it comes to my team, man. Because the boy just smart, man, and he doing his thing. And the athletic ability, it just shows you right there, man, why it's so important in today's NFL. It just does, man. It shows you why it's so important. And, we should have smacked them more, but it is what it is, man. Yeah, Kirk definitely sweating bullets, man.
There's one way to say it. Shout out Jim NFL. 1999 Vikings ringing the bells. Yeah, and 98 for that part too. Absolutely. Shout out my worthless opinion, the greatest single Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, MySpace handle of all time, because it's a great name and your opinion is rarely, if ever, worthless, especially on our shows. Thank you.
MWO, let's go, man. Shout out to MWO, man. Let me get MWO Ric Flair, man. You know what I mean?
And a Ric Flair.
Let's go.
Scrambling quarterbacks, and it feels so good. Dylan, that's the thing. Here's the thing. Is he a better passer than Kirk right now? No, absolutely not. But he might be a better overall quarterback because, again, your ability to scramble can cover up so many other things. Yes, he doesn't. Yes, some of those scrambles, Kirk probably would have hit a receiver 20 yards down the field. But there's other times where Kirk just can't get out of that stuff. But before we get any too much further, there was one thing we just got right into the chats and right into the shout out. So we're gonna take a break here for just a minute. We're gonna take a break and we're gonna say thank you. Now, I do this on my show every Monday, Thursday, as well as my Sunday morning shows. I'm not gonna do the whole bit, but what I am gonna say is on this Veterans Day weekend, thank you kindly to all the active and veteran members of our armed forces who fought for our freedom, for us to sit here talking about Vikings on YouTube, to watch our games, drink our beers, eat our chicken wings, and all the freedoms that we enjoy each and every day of our lives. Thank you so kindly for all the sacrifices. Thank you so kindly to the family members of these brave men and women as well, who have to sacrifice time away from their loved ones so that freedom may reign. So thank you, everybody. I know there's a bunch of people in the chat. Dave from First and Skull, Norse Fias, if he ever gets in, Davey Chains, there's a couple of examples. Dave First and Skull, put some other names in there. My memory can be that way sometimes, but thank you to all the veterans. Thank you to all the veterans.
Yeah,
let's get Cody shout real quick. Shout out, Cody. What's going on? Dobbs went Lamar Jackson on the Saints. Absolutely did. Absolutely. All right. What should we talk about next? Should we talk about the first half or the second half? Which way should we start? Should we start positive?
Man, let's talk about the second half first, man, just so we can get the negative out the way. Because I do want to be positive. I want to be more positive because I'm enjoying this shit. I ain't gonna lie. Like, There's some negatives in the second half, but all in all, though, I'm grateful to be a Vikings fan tonight, man. I ain't gonna lie. It feels good to be a Vikings fan. But we'll talk about some of the negative first. So I'll let you go first if you want to spill on, kind of what you've seen in the second half and what needs to change. Because there's a couple things that I'm definitely gonna point out.
First and foremost, with all due respect, and
you probably gonna point out same thing I'm gonna point out anyway.
With all due respect to a person that we all care about and have,
Exactly.
we've
I
met
already know
his
where you going with
father.
this shit.
We've had his father on a few times, and I've been saying it for about 3-4 weeks. Now, it's not about anything personal, and we all hope that after, you know, he might have got concussed today, but Alexander Madison needs to go back to being a number 2 running back. Ty Chandler needs to be the main running back on this team. If it's not obvious to everybody by now, what in the world are you watching? Ty Chandler, more explosive, better vision. Realistically, right, Brian O'Neill, you just needed to let the guy run over you. You didn't need to pull him down with you. He was coming down on you anyway. Took away a nice 32-yard touchdown run, which would have sealed that game a lot sooner. But yeah, the running game, it needs to go through Ty Chandler. We need to be done with the Alexander Madison experiment. What say you, Rap? You've been smiling and ready to say something.
Man, dog, like that's one of the main defaults about this football team is the fact of you put Ty Chandler in there, you hand him the ball, he gets 11 yards. Right. Then you take him out for another half of a damn quarter, bro, and keep pounding the rock to a guy that is getting you 1 yard, -1 yard, 2 yards. Then he gets -3 yards. Then he maybe gets a yard. And then it's like, bruh, are you not seeing? I mean, like, come on, man. Like this shit. I mean, it's just aggravating, man. Like, listen, it's plain and simple, man. Like Day stated, we love Alexander Madison, respect his father, all that. And I'm gonna tell you right now, if I had a son in the NFL and it was Alexander Madison, I'll be coming at y'all top. Like ain't nobody gonna top on my son. So I expect him to be mad and want to come. It's all good. You feel me? I understand. Right. But the truth is the truth, bro. And we just got to talk about it as fans. He is not the best running back on this roster, bro. And that's just clear as day, man. Number 32 should be RB1, and it should have been like that since week 1. I'm telling you, that's it. That's it. I even think Ty Chandler is better than Cam Akers. So I know a lot of fans were excited about Cam Akers, but I even thought Ty Chandler was a little bit more ready than that. You know what I mean? Just from watching his preseason last season, and then a couple little times he touched the ball, I'm like, man, this dude got some juice, bro. Like he hits the hole so hard and so fast. Like he just got it. You know what I mean? He's one of those running backs. If you give him opportunities, he's going to have 100-yard games and multi-touchdown games. So, man, give him the rock, man. Alexander Madison, I agree, man. Good. Hit the hay, dog, for sure. Hit the hay, bro.
Let me get a couple shots for some people that came in after we did the last one. We got Mateo in the building. What is going on, Mateo? Dobbs gang.
Dobbs gang. Hey, listen, I was saving it for a little while, but we starting Dobbs gang tonight, man. It's official, man. Dobbs, Mahomes, hey, listen, Joshua, Mahomes, Dobbs, man, is going down. Or should we use Lamar? Or should we call him Joshua Jackson Dobbs? You know what I'm saying?
That might be the better way. That might be the better way to go about it.
JJD. We're going JJD.
Yeah, another JJ. Man. There you go. There you go. Shout out Lemmy in the building. What's going on? Okay, guys. Can we all say it's time? Yeah, yes, absolutely. Absolutely. But shout out Lemmy in the building. What's going on?
Shout out Lemmy, man.
A couple of amens for the veterans. I saw some other ones in there. I put them up there a little bit, but to Young Cringe's comment, why isn't Ken A getting more love? He had a few runs that were good. Yeah, again, I'm not saying throw Alexander Madison, to the bench, but if he is, out for a game or two with this possibly being concussed, I feel fine with Ty Chandler and Kenny One. I do. You probably have to elevate McBride from the practice squad because you can't just go into a game with 2 running backs. But Kenny looked halfway decent on a couple of runs. And again, we're not trying to completely beat down Alexander Madison. It just is what it is.
Here we are. At this point. Listen, the truth is when other running backs seem to touch the ball, you can just see the difference. And it's just like even today with Kenny getting 2 or 3 touches. It's like, 2 or 3. Yeah. Damn, even on the touch that he got 1 yard on, it looked like he was damn better than Alexander Madison, bro, just because you could tell it wasn't his fault. To where a lot of times with Alexander Madison, you could tell like he's not getting yards because of him. You know what I mean? Not because of the offensive line isn't blocked, it's because of him. Like even the broadcaster today, for the ones who are watching the game, if you were listening to the broadcast, there was a run where Alexander Madison did, and even the broadcaster said, listen, Alexander Madison got to do better, man. He got to know to bounce that out to the outside. Like, even the damn broadcaster saw this shit, man. It's like, it's getting ridiculous, man. Like, it really is, man. And man, and it's crazy, man. I said in the video, this isn't the Madison that we know from 2021 and
Right.
2022. This just isn't the same guy. I don't know if there's something going on with him personally in his head that he's just not there. But I mean, dog, this isn't the Madison that we know. You know what I mean? And that's just the
really
reality. It's not. He's better. He's a better football player than what he's showing us, and that is the truth. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully we see something, man. He got to get together. There's still some time.
T-Bass, maybe Scene can play rubber band.
Hey, and check out that play that I seen somebody post, man, the play that Josh Hamilton had, and Kyle Hamilton had on the Ravens. First play, just tipped Deshaun Watson for a pick 6, and we're like, damn, bro, like we gave up. We fucking passed on this guy, man. Like it was heartbreaking to watch. It was.
I agree with Barber. Yes, he did protect it far better than he did in week 1. Couple shouts. We got Vikings fan 1, 2, 3. Sucks you couldn't. That sucks. But yeah, no, it was definitely a good first half. But yeah, I like this Dobbs kid. I like him. He's not bad. We got Darian in the building. What's going on? Did they forget Chai Channel was a bell car at North Carolina? I don't know what they're thinking, but I think their hand again. If Alexander Madison has to miss a game or 2, well, their hands are kind of forced at that particular point. Shout out James. Number 2 isn't his own runner. No, he's not. He's a straight ahead runner. And again, as has been said, he was a good complement to Dalvin Cook, and he wasn't able to elevate himself to that next level. It just kind of is what it is. One was 9 yards. The other one. Oh yeah, Kenny one. Yeah. So again, Kenny only had 2 touches for 9 yards, so 4.5 on the average. Alexander Madison 8 for 27. Joshua Dobbs 8 for 44. And Ty Chandler, 15 for 45. So again, his average wasn't as high as say Kenny Nwangwu's, but so again, Ty did get more touches. Now, was that a result of that Madison?
That was because Madison went out the game.
Right. Yeah. That's kind of my point, which is like, okay, it shouldn't be because Madison had to go out the game. It should be because that's just how it is. While we're at it, Josh Dobbs, 23 for 34, 268 in the touch. We would take that any day of the week. We'll take that. We would take that from Kirk, to be honest with you. So coming from Dobbs, yeah, I like
it. Because if you think about it, he's had 6 touchdowns, and because he had 3 touchdowns last week in Atlanta, and he had I guess that's 3 today, right? Was it 3 today?
So one passing today and 1 rushing. So 2 today.
So yeah, 2 today. So I mean, hey, look, that's 5 touchdowns, and hey, look here. Bro, I'll take that any day from my starting quarterback, bro. 5 touchdowns in 2 games. Like, listen, bro, hey, give it to me. You know what I mean? Whether that's on the ground or in the air, I don't care. It all equals the same. You know what I mean? So as long as you get 7, hey, let's get it. You know what I mean? So, hey, man, listen, the truth is this, man. Yeah, Kirk Cousins, it's coming. There's a couple things that we're seeing, and it's that Kevin O'Connell's just really good at breeding a quarterback, or just saying molding a quarterback to his offense. His offense is very easy to understand, I guess, in a way, or he just makes it easy to understand once he gets some time with you. So it makes me excited to see what he can do if he was to go out and hand pick his quarterback. And I'm going to tell you right now, whether that's Josh Dobbs, the truth is this: if Josh Dobbs continues to play like he's playing, and let's just say a Case Keenum story happens, I don't think that Kwesi and them are going to be like Spillman and Zimmer, and to Zimmer's behalf, he wanted to keep him. But I'm just saying, I don't think they're going to say, all right, that was just lightning in the bottle. We're getting rid of Josh Dobbs. I think they're going to say, damn, we might keep this dude, draft a young guy, let Kevin O'Connell, put his hands on him and just run with Dobbs until it don't run no more. You feel me? But that's a possibility, man. I don't see no reason I'm bringing Kirk back now.
No, to me, there's none. This is Josh Dobbs' last year in a contract, so if he does well, you got to bring him back, and at that point, you don't bring Kirk back. And if Dobbs falls off, hypothetically, well, then you go back to Jaren Hall and see what you got there. But at this point, I'm ready to move, and we've been ready to move on. Let's keep it real. But shout out Dave here. Dobbs has amassed 536 and 5 touchdowns, no interceptions in 7 quarters.
Let's go.
Yeah. Let's go. Absolutely. Let me get some shouts because we got a few people that moseyed on in here, starting with In the Zone podcast. What up, Doe? How you doing? Good to see you.
Shout out my guy, man.
We got Blood Eagle Smeagol in the building. What's going on, Blood Eagle? Appreciate you stopping by. And, of course, we've got Stephen Barbie. Hello. Couldn't miss the show. You was at the game. All right. No disrespect to Madison, but him being out next week with a concussion might be the best thing to happen for Chandler and Nwangwu. Yeah, again, we don't wish injury on anybody, but hey, we're just trying to get the best guys out there. And by the way, what's going to happen when Justin Jefferson gets back to this mess?
Man.
I mean, I'm just saying, we finally get to see Justin Jefferson with a mobile quarterback, and we finally get to see if Justin Jefferson can actually catch passes from somebody other than Kirk Cousins, because according to the Kirk stands, nobody can throw the ball to Justin Jefferson except Kirk Cousins. So we finally get to put that to bed. Shout out to the house call for the doctor. What's going on? Sorry you're late. Hey, don't matter if you get here late as long as you get in here. And let's hit the reset button while we're at it. If you didn't already hit the like button on the way in. And if you don't already subscribe to both Purple Pocket Podcast and Purple and Go for Days, get us some subs so we get these numbers up. Hey, y'all, I need 12 more subs to get to 900, and I ain't too proud to beg. So if you could, please share this with your friends. Let them know, hey, we're trying to get this up to 9. Well, we're trying to get it up to 1,000, but we'll take it one step at a time. But anyway, thank you guys, everybody, for coming on out here. Okay, so we talked about the running game. The second half, was it that the Saints figured us out? Was it that Kevin O'Connell was, being too conservative? I'd say a little bit of both, but what say you, my brother?
Yeah, man. I say Kevin O'Connell was just way too conservative, man. Way too conservative. Taking away that killer instinct, man. The first half, killer instinct. You feel me? Like, stick the dagger in them. You know what I mean? And going into the half, 27-3. So we went into the half. What was it? Was it 27-3 going into half?
24. So 24. We got them a 3 and out, and then we kicked a field goal to go up 27-3, and then that was.
So we only scored 3 points in the damn second half. You know what I'm saying? And we scored 24 points in the first. Man, that's an issue. You know what I mean? Like, I look at what the Cowboys did today versus the Giants, man, and they just kept their foot on the gas, man, and straight smacked the Giants as they should have. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, that's what the Vikings need to learn, man. The Vikings need to learn how to smack something like every once in a while, man. Like, quit with all that nice guy stuff. You know what I mean? Like, quit letting the team have chance after chance and then just crossing your fingers, hoping that we walk out of there with a victory. The game should have been, we should have made the game over early in the third quarter. We should have just went right down and put the dagger in them. But Kevin O'Connell looked at it and was like, hey, we up by 3+ scores. Let's just go ahead and see if we can run this clock and be conservative as hell. You could tell because Dobbs kind of held back too. You know what I mean? The second half was not good at all because he just didn't get opportunities to do anything. The play calling was so goddamn just trash, But hey, we won though. So I'm excited about that. I guess if they were to watch film, they can say, hey, let's keep our foot on teams' necks from now on. Like, y'all saw what y'all did in the first half. Man, let that shit go in the second too, man. I don't care if you up by 3 touchdowns, bro. Like, keep smacking stuff, dog. Like, for real, make a team pay every once in a while for playing, especially the Aints, man. I wanted that to happen more than anything.
Well, what's interesting about it is it's almost unfortunate for us that we knocked Derek Carr out because Derek Carr wasn't doing a dang thing that whole game. We knock him out. Now, maybe after 1 or 2 more drives, they would have just brought Jameis Winston in. We don't know. But all we know is just like because we had prepared all week for Derek Carr. We know what Derek Carr is. He's a pocket passer with a slight amount of mobility, but he certainly isn't Jameis Winston. Now, Jameis Winston, he's the kind of guy you give him 20 passes, he'll make 2 or 3 ridiculous throws, like both of them touchdowns, and he'll make 2 or 3 ridiculous passes that ended up being interceptions. So that's just the roller coaster that is Jameis Winston. But it did kind of get funny at the hit. Real quick, shout out my guy Ricky in the building. Give him a Rick. We got to give Ricky a big flare.
Man, shout out to Rick. Shout out to Ricky in the building, man.
And the Rick Flair.
Getting rid of Cousins was the change needed. Absolutely. The pocket QP is no longer valuable in the NFL. Exactly. These options were always available. Cousins couldn't move. Hey, facts.
You speaking our language, Ricky. Good to see you.
I'm telling you, Ricky, man. Shout out to you, man. Like, we've been talking. Listen, one thing's for sure about this group right here. We've been talking that talk. Like, man, we've been so sick of that junk, man. That pocket QB shit, man. That 2001 through 2007 bullshit. I'm sick of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's 2023, man. You know what I mean? You better look around the league and catch up before you get left. And that's what's been happening. But hopefully Dobbs, the caliber of player of Dobbs doing it too. Because I'm going to tell you right now, Dobbs might be doing good, but he's still a low-end type of quarterback that's doing it. Imagine you go out and actually find a guy that can really do that type of playing with Kevin O'Connell. Like imagine Kevin O'Connell with a Deshaun Watson or Lamar Jackson. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
it would be crazy.
It would be. And now to James' point, and let's talk about this. Greg Joseph. Now, I'm going to criticize him for badly missing a 54-yard. It's not like it was like 59 or 61. I mean, he hit a 61 on the Giants to walk off that game. So it's not like he can't hit a 54, but that was so bad. But having said all of that, I'm more irritated with Kevin O'Connell electing to kick that field goal. Again, it was 4th and 3 from the 37-yard line of the Saints. If you get it, you keep the drive going. If you don't get it, they get the ball at the 37. Well, guess what? Now he missed the field goal. Now they get it at the 47. So, yes, I agree with you, James, that missed field goal did change the momentum, and those 3 points would have meant something about it being a 2-score game at the end. But I was a little disappointed with a lot of decisions today from Kevin O'Connell. I didn't like the challenge in the first half on the Jordan Addison catch. First off, Jordan Addison, go tell your coach. No, coach, I didn't get that one. I didn't get that one.
Yeah,
I dropped it. That's number one. Yeah. The second challenge, like, why?
And then you didn't challenge, and the one that you actually should have won was the first down that Dobbs.
Because he was gun shy because he had already missed one. And he's like, well, I don't want to take my last challenge here in the middle of the third quarter. But again, that was a terrible spot by the refs. But whatever. That's my point. If you hadn't challenged the Jordan Addison one, you still had both your challenges available. Like Aaron Dang to you, he would have called a challenge flag there. But a lot of decisions by KOC, particularly in the second half. I didn't like his challenges. I didn't like some of his lack of aggressiveness. But do we need to be concerned about who is giving KOC the advice as to when to challenge and when not to? Because whoever that is needs to either go back to the drawing board or just needs to be replaced. That's I'm sorry,
absolutely. He's not that good. He's not that good at determining when to challenge. He's really not. And somebody should be reminding him that, man. Like, hey, keep your flag in your pocket on this one, coach. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, he dropped it. It was obvious he dropped it. Yeah, he dropped it.
I like this one from T-Bass. I'm thinking we can beat the Bengals now because he forgot that they have Irv Smith Jr.
Look, the way we're playing, I'm gonna keep it real, T-Bass. The way we are balling right now, shit, I think we can beat anybody. I'm gonna keep it real with you. Like the way our defense is balling too, man. I think we can beat anybody. You feel me? Like that's a fact. I mean, we can beat the Eagles. We got a better chance beating the Eagles with Dobbs at quarterback than we did with Cousins. I'm keeping it real.
Sure. I'll give you that all day.
Keeping it real. And because this team is actually knowing that we have Dobbs as the quarterback, I think this team is also understanding the situation and they're stepping up. Like you have the defense actually saying, we got to put a little bit more effort in because we did lose Kirk Cousins. And the team respects and loves Kirk Cousins. You know what I mean? They know Kirk Cousins is a good quarterback. But so like the team just having that on their mind too, like, hey, we don't have Kirk no more. So all of us got to play our part and do a little bit extra. And that shit's working, bro. I ain't gonna lie. It's coming together and it's looking really good, man. Brian Flores has his defense flying around, man. I'm loving it. You know what I mean? I'm loving it, man. I'm loving everything about it other than not being able to put together a full football game.
Right.
But we can't forget, we put together a full football game in San Fran.
Yeah, we did.
Or in Minnesota, but against
I don't remember if I shouted you out, Raymond. I put a couple comments up there, but shout out to Raymond. Shout out to the other queen, Sarah.
Shout out Sarah. Deshaun is looking ass. But but to my point, Sarah. But to my point, Josh Dobbs looked ass too on the Cardinals. He had. Think about this. True. I know Josh Dobbs had 2 games that he looked good in Arizona. That's it. 2 games that you would actually say, damn, that dude balling. The other 5 games, he looked ass. Trust me. Like I done went back and watched all them shits over the past week because I'm trying to get excited. What I'm saying is Deshaun Watson with a guy like Kevin O'Connell, because I think that is the key ingredient. I think Kevin O'Connell really is the key ingredient because look what he's doing with a guy like Dobbs. So like that tells me that shit. Kevin O'Connell, fuck around and put Sean Mannion in there. He might look better. I'm going to keep it real. And I hate Sean Mannion. He ass. But I'm going to tell you right now, I bet you Sean Mannion will look better than what he looked like with Zimmer.
I will say this. This is a good point from JD. We probably have the best weapons Dobbs has ever played with. That's true. And he still ain't playing with Jefferson like we talked about earlier. So it does kind of go hand in hand. But to Steven's
But you still got to be able – this is my thing too real quick, Dave, before you go. Like, I know we say this about Dobbs and say, you know, we got the best weapons he's ever played, but you still got to know how to get it to your weapons.
Yep.
So you can't always think about it that way. Yes, it does play a part, but if you also have quarterbacks that have a plethora of weapons, but they don't know how to use the weapon.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? It's almost like, well, we ain't gonna talk about guns on here because I don't want the channel to get. I don't want to pay. But you get what I'm saying? Like you might have a weapon, but if you don't know how to use it or get the ball to the weapon, or the coach doesn't know how to put the players in position, then the weapons don't matter. They're irrelevant. You know what I mean? So again, I say, I think Kevin O'Connell is the key ingredient, bro. I really do. And Wes Phillips. I don't want to take away from Wes Phillips, bro. I believe Wes Phillips behind the scenes is a very important piece to what we're seeing to this day, man. And it's lit, man.
I'm going to make one point before I get to Steven's point here. Kirk Cousins was unlocked to a new level by Kevin O'Connell. We all can agree to that. And clearly Josh Dobbs through 7 quarters has had something unlocked. So maybe it's part let's take it for example on that first drive of the game, that pass to Jordan Addison and went off the defender's hands. That was one of those, okay, we got lucky on that one that didn't get picked off. But at the same time, sometimes you got to give your wide receivers an opportunity like that. It might not always go well each time. But to Steven's point, if you couldn't get Kirk back for $30 million, do you turn around and give Josh the same deal the Seahawks gave Geno Smith is who's at it, and get the cash for Hunter, JJ, and other free agents? Let me just say this. Yes. In fact, it ain't about Kirk. Kirk could say, I'll play for $5 million a year. I still don't bring him back.
Hold on. So you want Josh Dobbs for $25 million?
Well, again, it was 3 years, $75 million. There was the first 2 years had guaranteed money in it. The third year had no guaranteed money in it. So effectively, it's a 2-year deal. But if Josh Dobbs continues the way he has been, yeah, I would say $25 million a year on average is a good number. It's not $40 million like Daniel Jones, and it's not $10 million like a rookie quarterback contract or something like that. So yeah, 25 a year. If Josh,
I guess it depends on. And shout out to James. He said, "Rap, you tripping, bro?" Sean Mannion. Hey, look, y'all ain't want to do Mannion game?
No, we ain't doing that. No,
we ain't doing that, man. But shout out Frozen. Yeah, shout out Frozen, man. Shout out my boy Frozen, man. Listen, me and Frozen, we were talking on the phone last night, man. Shout out my guy, man, for sure, man. Yeah, man, Frozen the truth, man. Me and him was kicking it last night, just talking shooting the shit about the Vikings on the phone for about an hour. But yeah, man, look. I'm gonna tell you right now, if Josh Dobbs, let's just put the standard like this, right? Because what I don't want to happen is, let's just say the unthinkable happens and we just lose the next. How many games we got? 7 games left.
We got 7 left. Yeah.
Let's say we lose all of them motherfuckers, right? And Josh Dobbs doesn't play that well, right? He's just average in those games.
Right.
This would be a fairy tale right now. It's gonna be over. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this one game at a damn time. Listen, I will make that decision, and I'm sure Quasey feels the same way. Once the season is over with, because I want to see how far we can climb up this mountain. Because if we win a playoff game or something with him, then absolutely, man, I'm down to pay the guy. You feel me? Y'all know RAP always been big on paying your good players. And if he's balling like that and we winning, then pay him. I agree. Pay him. You know what I'm saying? Just don't overpay him either. You know what I mean? Don't let him fleece you just because it's just 1 year. Because I'm going to tell you right now, what could happen is you pay him and then you mess around going into the next year. And let's just say we go into the draft saying, oh, well, we got our guy. We're about to pay Josh Dobbs $25 million, so we don't need to go after a quarterback in this draft. And then Josh Dobbs falls off the face of the earth next season. We're going to be mad as hell. I'm going to just keep it real with you. We're going to be mad as hell. I still think that we need to go and let Kevin O'Connell draft a QB. That's my opinion. I think we need to do that regardless. You feel me?
Well, I'll say this. I was just going off the question that was posed. We got to see a lot more. You're right. Yes, if he continues down that path, would I? Sure. If Josh Dobbs loses like the next 3 games out of our 7, somehow, some way, lose to Denver, lose to Chicago, and then lose to who's next? Vegas. Then yeah, if Jaren Hall's ready, I put him in for the last 4 games and see what he's at. I would love to know what Jaren Hall would have been if he hadn't got concussed. Would he have done the same thing for Jaren Hall, which is to say, okay, I got a mobile quarterback and this guy's younger and he's under team control for another 3 years. you never know. You never know. But
Right.
to your point, yes, we have to. We need to let the season play out before we talk anymore about that.
Shout out, Skull Bro with the Kwesi thing too, man. Like, man, shout out to Kwesi, man. Like,
yeah,
I was actually sitting back thinking about it, man. And I know as fans, we be hard on Kwesi, but I'm gonna tell you right now, man, that man has made some calculated ass moves that have really. Think about this real quick. Think about this. Think about the move he made with Hicks and Kendricks. Most Vikings fans were wanting Kendricks.
Oh yeah, we were.
But I'm
like,
gonna tell you right now, that move was
Oh.
amazing, man. Because when you look at how Hicks is playing, you're like, damn, he made the right decision on that.
Absolutely.
Now the draft, that's another story. Like, he might not be that good at the draft situation yet, or just hasn't really.
Right.
But then again, I mean, obviously Jordan Addison's balling right now. But and I'm gonna tell you, Mekhi Blackman's another gem that he drafted for us. You feel me? But I mean, when you think about his free agency moves, though, and kind of just the adding value to the team, man, listen, Kwesi doing his thing, man, very calculated, and I'm liking it, man. Not just skill, but I think personality. I think he actually looks for a certain personality, too, and that played a part in bringing in a guy like Josh Dobbs. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I like what Cody's saying here, and that's something we touched on earlier. When JJ comes back, see, the Falcons, the Saints did adjust a little in the second half to say, okay, we're not going to let Josh Dobbs, and they put a spy on him. But can you afford to put a spy on Dobbs when you got Jefferson, Addison, and hopefully Hawkinson gets his ribs fixed up there too? That's going to be the thing, and that's a good point. That when you get the JJ effect in there, you're putting a double team on him pretty near every play, and if you don't, as long as Dobbs can get him the ball, he becomes unstoppable. So, yeah, that might take a little bit of the pressure and the ability for Dobbs to continue to do his scrambling thing, because they did try to take that away in the second half. I love this again. T-Bass is absolutely on fire tonight. He's got to right here. Loved them old girlfriends, but when the magic was over, it's time to move on.
Hey, that's how I beat T-Bass for sure.
You ain't lying. You ain't lying.
That's how I beat. Because this is the thing. You got a bunch of fans, because I liked Case Keenum. But then I got a bunch of fans that'll tell me that, oh, well, I was lightning in the bottle and this, that, and the thing. He wasn't. Bro, Case Keenum had MVP numbers in 2017, bro. Let's just face it. Let's just call it for what it is, man. He did. You feel me? And he didn't play for 3 games. Or I think it was, 2 or 3 games. So
he didn't play the first game. He started the second game. And then against the Bears, he came in the second half. So, yeah, he missed 1.5 games. Yeah, 1.5. Yeah.
So still yet, man, because he, like I said this before, he threw for over 30, I think it was around 3,600 yards, had a good touchdown to interception ratio, and people were willing to get rid of him. You know what I'm saying? And say he was lightning in the bottle. So my question is this: if Dobbs does this, is it the same thing? Is he just lightning in the bottle? You know what I mean? Like, see, because I'm gonna be on the keep Dobbs train if he plays anything like Case Keenum and gets us to the NFC Championship game. I'm gonna be like, man, fuck that. Dobbs better be the quarterback next year, bro. And I'm gonna be mad if we trade him. You know what I mean? Just like I was with Case Keenum.
I'll say here's the thing about Case. He was a 1-year journeyman backup that we signed.
But what is Dobbs?
Well, Dobbs, the guy we traded for. But here's what I'm saying. We had Mike Zimmer as our head coach at that point, who was a defensive guy, and the offensive coordinator, Pat Shurmur, left to take a job in New York. Kevin O'Connell ain't leaving to take another job, and Wes Phillips ain't leaving to take another job. So in this instance, if Dobbs keeps doing what he is doing and gets us to the divisional round or even the NFC Championship game, that's a completely different set of circumstances. So I agree. If Dobbs continues on this path and takes us far in the playoffs, there's no question you re-sign him. Again, the circumstances with Case were a little bit different, but I understand your point. But yeah, the offensive infrastructure from the coaching standpoint is going to be the same next year. So there's a much higher probability that if Dobbs does what Case does, that he stays. I would definitely agree with that.
Yeah, I hope so. You know what I mean? I hope so. That's all I'm saying. I hope so, man. I think Kwesi is different, though, for sure.
Absolutely.
I think they really relate to Josh Dobbs. Josh Dobbs and Kwesi and Kevin O'Connell just seem like they would be 3 good friends that would actually go out to lunch together and shit. Like they just seem like they're like, you know what I mean? That trio right there just seem, their personalities seem to all just bind with each other, man. I can really see a connection building there with the personalities. So I mean, we hey, look, it's exciting as a Vikings fan. Like I said, man, you know what I mean? Like we're in good times right now to be Vikings fans, man. We're grateful to be Vikings fans, and it's entertaining. If nothing else, it's going to be entertaining. And we said that last night. And then guess what? Today was entertaining, man. Josh Dobbs looked locked in. The man didn't even know what a damn locker room was getting off the elevator. Somebody had to show him where the locker room was. I mean, this man, you know what I mean? Like, this is just great, man. This is amazing. This is amazing, man.
Shout out Joker in the building. Shout out to De Niro as well. Thank you guys for joining.
Niro.
We got you.
Joker in the building too, man. Appreciate y'all tapping in tonight.
T-Bass says you have it backwards. Dobbs is unlocking chaos. Okay, I don't know about all that, but I
I'm liking the Dobbs. I'm
loving this kid right now. I really am.
I'm loving I don't know.
Did you see the replay of his touchdown run from the top down where he was standing back there and then he's running right and then he reverse pivots and gets to the left and he still gets to the corner?
Bro, I've been wanting that for so long, man. Like I almost cried when he made that play, man. You hear me? And that not only was the play good, but those are the type of plays that just gas the deep. Those are the type of plays that just suck the wind out of an opposing team. And we saw it happen right after he made a play like that. You know, the Saints just looked out of it, bro, because they just knew it was going to be a long fucking day for them. You know what I mean? Now, it was on us to take our foot off the gas like we did. But if we could have literally smacked this team today, bro, if we had an aggressive coach. We could have literally smacked this team. I mean, it could have been ugly, bro.
Could have been a mollywop.
It should have been. You know what I mean? That's the only thing. And even Dobbs said it in his press conference. He said, you know, we're probably going to watch the film and be like, yeah, we left a lot of meat on the bones. Y'all did. You know what I mean? But it wasn't your fault, Dobbs. It wasn't your fault. It was the coach's fault. You know what I'm saying? It was definitely the coach's fault. But, man, I'm liking what I'm seeing with Dobbs, man. You know, I believe in change, you know, when it comes to everything. I just believe that people change. I believe that. So I am a believer in, regardless of what's happened in Dobbs' past. And I know I kept saying 5 teams, and I couldn't remember the teams, but now they showed it today. Yeah, he was on the Lions. The Lions got rid of him too.
That's right.
So, you know what I mean? So, you know, I sit back and again, I said this last night, as I think about why, if he's so good, like the way he's playing now and the stuff he's doing, and he's such a great guy, why out of those 5 teams, nobody even kept him as a backup? You know what I mean? You didn't got to pay him. You didn't pay him crazy, man. You just keep him because he could help your starter study in the QB room because he's just that smart. Like, I just feel like he brings, to me as a Vikings fan, it looks like he brings a ton of value, you know what I mean, even if he wasn't playing on Sundays because he's so smart and stuff like that. And his study habits are so good. And maybe he can, you know, exude that onto some of the other guys you have in the room. But for them not to keep him is weird to me. But what my point was, I believe he can change. And maybe, just maybe, this is his time where he finally figured the game out. You know what I mean? Because he's definitely a student of the game.
Right.
And he finally, that thing clicked in his head at this point in his career where he said, okay, now I'm realizing the spacing of the field and when I should throw the ball and when I should run and stuff like that. And it's all coming together now. And maybe we just got lucky and just struck it right at the perfect timing, man. So let's go, man. Skol motherfucking Vikings, man. We got Josh Dobbs in the building.
I'll say this too. And if KOC can teach him to be a touch more accurate, to be a touch more anticipatory, where he doesn't have to always rely on, okay, there's nobody open, I better start running. That just makes him even more difficult to defend. To your point about his touchdown run, and then I got some shots I got to get to. We've seen that. And where have we seen it? Against us, where you have the right defensive play call, where you've got all of your bases covered, you got all the wide receivers covered up, and yet you still lose on the play. They either got the first down or got a touchdown because you just have natural athletic ability in a quarterback that can just scramble out of the way and can just overcome a defense that played it right. So anyway, shout out to Skull TYA Cats. What's going on, Curtis? Good to see you. And we got a new one in the building for me anyway. Cork Purple People Eater. What is going on?
Let's go.
Love Cousins, but he will never get it done. Loving the motor quarterback. Yeah, first off, everybody say hello to Cork.
Rick Flair.
Say hello to Cork, man. Welcome to Purple Gang, Cork, man.
Welcome
for sure,
to the Purple Game. If you haven't already subscribed to Purple and Gold for Days, that's me. If you haven't subscribed to Purple Pocket Podcast, that's my boy Rap. You know what I'm going to do? Because this is on my channel, so just hit the sub button there if you're not already subscribed. But I'll put and I'll pin the link to Rap's channel here in just a second. Shout out to Too Evil for the $5 super chat. So
shout out to Evil with the 5 Beezies. Let's go, man. Go ahead, read it. Dan.
We got to get our timing better because I'm like, okay, he didn't play it, so I'll play it. Oh, no, he did. All right. So during halftime, KOC found Zimmer's play sheet. Yeah. No, you're right. It can't. And we've talked about that a little bit too, Evil, but shout out to you as well. But yeah, no, it's again, you can get away with that when you're at home against a good, not great team. But if you have visions of doing something in the playoffs where you have to go on the road to Philadelphia, go on the road to San Francisco. I know we beat San Francisco, but they didn't have Deebo Samuel. Funny, what happened to San Francisco when they got Deebo Samuel back? They look ridiculously unstoppable again. But if you have to go on the road for somebody, you cannot take your foot off the gas against better teams. Again, you got away with it because you're at home against a good, not great team. In New Orleans, but no, absolutely right to even. No, we totally agree. But thank you again for the $5 super chat. We appreciate.
Shout out Steven, man. He said you got my subscription, man. Appreciate you, Steven.
There
man.
you go.
We love you, brother. We love you, man. Appreciate you. Welcome to Purple Gang, and we hope we see you in the chat all the time, man. Cork, make sure you in the chat all the time, man. Purple and Gold for Days, Purple Pocket Podcast. You know, we always have shows going on, and all of these people you see in this chat right now, you will see them a lot, and you will become one of us. You feel me? Welcome to the cult, man. Now let me stop. You know what I mean?
He's talking about cult.
It's Purple Gang, man. Purple Gang in the building, man. Let's go, man.
Hey, if you didn't already hit the like button, hit that like button for us. We got 38 likes. We got 42 people, so that math isn't adding up. But for those of you in the chat that don't already subscribe to Purple Pocket Podcast, there is the link there, and I'm going to pin that so it'll stay up here for the rest of the show. And reminder that we do this show every Sunday night when the Vikings play at 1 o'clock Eastern, 4 to 4:30 Eastern. So in other words, not Monday night, Sunday night, or Thursday night. We do this at
When's
9.
the next? Do we got a Sunday night game next week?
So next week is a Sunday night game. So we're gonna have to figure it out.
Yeah, we're not gonna skip like we did last time.
Right.
I think last time we skipped, man. We can't do that, man. Y'all drop down in the chat, man. What do y'all think we should do? Should me and Dave just do a pregame show? Maybe. I know you do your pregame shows, but maybe you can put that. Maybe you can kind of do that a little sooner or something and try to figure that out. Maybe we can figure that out and do.
We'll figure something out. Yeah,
we'll figure something out, y'all.
We'll figure it out. But the point is that every week, regardless of when the game is, we used to do it as a simulcast on both the channels, but then we realized, well, people can't interact with the other chats. So we decided, all right, let's go back and forth 1 week on this one week on that one. So you got to be subscribed to both. Otherwise, you miss an episode. But I digress. We got a couple new people that I've seen. Shout out Chad in the building. What's going on,
Chad? Shout out Chad, man.
Wish we had a kicker. Well, that's a whole
I put in the group chat earlier that we have, and I said, man, F it, man. Kicker first round, man. You know what I'm saying? Kicker first round, man. Yeah, Greg Joseph really gets on my nerves, man. I'm not confident when he goes up to kick the ball. I'm really not. I'm lying. I'm not lying. Unless it's within 30 yards, I am not confident when he kicks the ball. Like, I'm just not. You know what I mean? And I hate that feeling. I hate that feeling, man.
Yes. Even when it is 30, every time we score a touchdown, I'm nervous for the extra points.
Yeah, man. It's just one of those things where it's like, you know, you got to get that right, man. You have one job, bro.
Right.
Like, you literally don't have to study anything. You don't have to go over the game plan. You don't got to do walkthroughs with motherfucker. Like, all you got to do is know how to kick the ball through the dang uprights, man. That's it. And I'm not trying to take away from how difficult the job might be under pressure kicks. I get that.
Right.
But when you're up by 3 scores and you have to make a kick, it should be Steph Curry swish for you, man. There's no pressure there at all. All you're doing is trying to put the nail in the coffin. All right. And we need that, man, because that missed kick was crucial, bro. It was crucial. You know what I mean? That could have really ended the game a little sooner. Now, we would have rather have 7, but still, those 3 points were crucial, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Dylan says he's getting the feeling from you like Purple Papa does on your show.
Man, shout out Dylan, man. My God, man. Dylan always supporting, man. Shout out to him, man. Hey, real quick. Hey, Dylan's Denver Nuggets, man. They look like they going for back-to-backs this year too, man. Hey, sorry to all the Timberwolves fans in the building.
We
I'm
ain't
telling you,
even
man.
we
Hey,
ain't
that
even
boy
worried about
Jokic, man. That boy Jokic, man. That boy just like that boy like White Mike, man. I ain't gonna lie. That motherfucker know how to play some basketball. You hear me?
I don't know about that, but
he almost just as impactful, man. That boy do everything, man.
Right.
Sure.
All right. Let's see what Lemmy got. This team give me 98 vibes. Maybe
98. I don't know about that, Lemmy. 98 vibes? Come on, Lemmy. Don't do that, Lemmy.
Lemmy, the 98 team don't lose no 3 in a row. Okay, so let's take it back down. Stop the cap. Right, exactly.
Lemmy, I gotta do it to you, Lemmy.
Yeah.
Hey, we love you. We love you, Lemmy. Hey, we love you, Lemmy. We love you, man. Me and you usually on the same way. Me and you usually right here. We usually right here, but I can't.
Absolutely, Lemmy. I mean, listen, you know, you are always one of the OGs, Lemmy. But sorry, we can't get down with you on that 98.
15-1, Lemmy.
Yeah, 15. I mean, again, that team ain't losing. That team went 15-1 and then went 1-1.
And we were blowing shit out too.
We were destroying
teams. We were destroying teams, Lemmy.
The 2 games they lost was by 3 points to Tampa Bay and by 3 points to Atlanta. So that was the 2 games we lost. It was by 3 points each. The only other close game, we had a 10-point win against the Titans. We had a 3-point win against the Bears. It was really a 10-point. The Bears scored a garbage touchdown with less than a minute left. But no. Sorry, Gunny. No, absolutely not. Sarah says at least we can win without our number 1 wide receiver. Yeah, well, that's a very good point, Sarah. That's a very good point. Debo coming back, and you're right. They didn't have Debo. We didn't have JJ that game, so that's a good point too. That's a good point.
And you know, like again, so this is a point I want to make to everybody too. That I've been talking. I actually Frozen that was in the building, man. I was saying this last night with me and him and Gary were on the phone shooting the shit. You know, with Justin Jefferson, I'm loving what I'm seeing with him on the sidelines, hyping his players up. Leadership is oozing out of him right now. And I'm loving it. What I'm hoping is he can do it with the shoulder pads on. I'm hoping that he can balance the two and still continue to exert that leadership because I said this. He's so focused on his play, and I get it because he's such an elite player. And sometimes players just have to focus on their skills and sharpening their tools. And I get that, but you have to know how to balance it if you really want to have a captain patch. It's one thing to have the captain patch. It's another thing to actually be a captain. You hear me? Because there's a lot of cases where you might have the patch, but that doesn't mean that you are a leader on the team like a captain. You might be a captain. I get that. But are you somebody that the guys can, count on as far as, hey, if I'm having a down day, fuck it. My girl broke up with me today, man. We got a game today. I'm not feeling good today, man. Hey, man, listen, that guy you can go talk to and lift you up and still make you go out there and play some good football for at least 60 minutes. Like, that's what we need. Right now, it's looking like JJ's that guy. And I love it. You feel me? Like, look at that clip that was floating around with him and Josh Dobbs in Atlanta. Like, I mean, he was repping for Dobbs heavy, bro. Like, I'm loving it, man. Let's just hope that when he gets the pads back on next week, that he can still do that. Because usually when he has the pads on, after the play, he usually goes into a zone, sits on the bench, or stands up and kind of just stays locked in. You know what I mean? You don't really see him doing all of that extracurricular stuff. So
right. Yes, thank you, Frozen. If anybody watched the Purple and Gold pregame show, I apologize again. I was out of the studio visiting my parents and doing some other stuff, and I, just didn't have the ability to bring all the equipment. And that was not.
I mean, you were good. Like, well, I'll tell you after stream. Like, it's not difficult. I just think you didn't change the settings on stream.
I didn't change the settings here, so I didn't have any sound through the headset. Yeah. So half the time I forgot that the sound was looping. You'd be like, that horn's been going for 20 seconds. What are you doing playing the horn?
It was a basic error that day made, just not
live and learn.
Output on stream. Yeah, it's all
live
good.
It was live and learn.
Click,
yes. Click. Anyway, shout out Anthony in the building. What's going on, Anthony? Good to see you.
Shout out Anthony, man. Good to see you, brother.
Absolutely. Cork says T-Bass, I see him. Yeah, that's where I met T-Bass. If y'all don't rock with one, I imagine pretty much all of you already rock with One Bar Lubbock is, but if you don't, hit those boys up. Absolutely. They just hit 10,000 subs there. Those guys
shout out One Bar Lubbock is, man.
Yeah, those guys are the OG creators, or one of them anyway. I totally agree, though, Cork. I hope Dobbs can feed JJ the ball. Absolutely. Well, we're going to find out real quick because the Kirk stands want to say, well, Justin Jefferson is only as good as he is because he's got passes being thrown to him by Kirk. Get out of here.
No, he going to listen. Him and let's play Stop the Cap for that BS right there that we hear. Stop the cap. No bullshit. And look, I'm gonna tell you right now. Look what he's doing with Jordan Addison. Now that first throw, I got to tell you right now, that was all Addison making that happen because that should have been a pick. That should have been a pick. Said that real early, that should have been a pick. But again, Addison being the playmaker he is, he made it happen for him, made Josh Dobbs look correct, even though he wasn't. But again, man, when you got Addison and Jefferson on the field together, like we've already done established, the truth is that Addison is a savage. It's like what RAP like to call him. Y'all know RAP like to call him, man. Right. Like Jordan Addison has already reached that level. He is a good football player, and there's nothing we can do about it. God damn it. And there shouldn't be anything we want to do about it. So with him and Justin Jefferson, Dobbs is the game's going to slow down even more than what it's slowing down now, and especially shout out to TJ Hawkinson too, finally stepping up and balling. Bruh, I can see great things happening, bruh. Great things
we ain't even touched on him today. TJ Hawkinson.
Shout out goodness. TJ, man. Let's get TJ a Ric Flair real quick.
Yes.
Let's go.
Well, I will say this. TJ Hawkinson has had some up and downs this year. He had the contract holdout-itis and then had some drops earlier this year, including one in the end zone against, who was that against? Los Angeles Chargers, I believe. But I'll tell you what, he picked up the offense in the first half today. And every time he got tackled, it looked like it was just killing him, but he hung in there. I'm glad he got that touchdown at the end of the second quarter going into the halftime there. TJ Hawkinson, I would say probably the player of the game. Well, player of the first half for that.
I'll give him the player of the game. Player of the game.
Him and Dobbs,
yards. Yeah, 130. I think he had like 137.
He had over 100 in the first half.
Listen, low key. Do you know that I didn't know this? The broadcasters taught me this. TJ Hawkinson's leading the league in receptions for tight ends. Only person that he's second in yard. Only person that he doesn't have more yards than is Kelsey, which is obvious, right? Because the Chiefs' offense definitely runs through Kelsey. He's like their wide receiver one too. But again, man, like low-key, I seen some stats like 20 minutes before the show where through 10 games of last year and 10 games of this year or whatever, how many games, I guess it's what we played 9 games. No, TJ Hawkinson's stats are actually better right now and than they were last season when we were hyped about him before he got his bag. You feel me? And so I gotta say, man, I think we jumped the gun on TJ a little too early. I'm gonna work on not jumping the gun too early on some of these players, man. I'm starting to learn, you know what I mean? And that's one thing I want to start working on, my fandom. We all got to work on our fandom.
Right.
There's always things we can work on with our fandom, man. And I'm gonna be the first to admit that sometimes already jump the gun on these players, man. I do. Like I don't like a player, I'm just out from the get-go. Like Josh Dobbs, for example, I'm out. Ain't nobody changing my mind. I need to see something first. And you know what? Same thing with TJ. I think a lot of us were out on him, but if you look at the numbers and you look at what he's doing, he's actually playing better than he played last year. That's crazy, right? Let's get it, man. Shout out TJ.
All right, Steven. I ain't forgot about it. So, yeah, let's talk about Brian Flores and the job he has done. In the offseason, I said, let's slow down. A coach can make some difference, but he can't make that much of a difference. And I said, after coming off the 31st ranked defense, a reasonable expectation would be to say, all right, maybe we go up to 20, move up 10, 11 spots, that sort of thing. Because if you were to say, hey, he's going to make this a top 10 defense, I'm like, that's putting way too much on a coach and a scheme. Brian Flores, hey, I thought it would be good to say around 18 to 24. The fact that they're about 12 or 13 at this point is just absolutely ridiculous. Ziggy Mark Wilf, you better promote this guy to defensive coordinator, assistant head coach, give him $1 less than what KOC makes, and make sure you keep this dude on this coaching staff. And again, we're not trying to say, hey, we're going to stand in your way of getting another head coaching opportunity if one comes available to you. But at the same time, what do you say about Brian Flores in this defense?
Man, I mean, that you can't give him enough praise, right? You can't give him enough praise, man. Look at what he's doing with some of these players, man. Look at Cam Bynum. Listen, that should have been a pick. That was a hell of a play, though. Even with the ball hitting the ground, man, I still give Cam Bynum credit on that play, man. The reaction time to make a play like that. I actually made a play like that in high school, and that's a hard play to make when a ball gets tipped like that. And you got to jump forward to catch the shit before it hits the ground. Like, he almost had it. He was close. You know what I mean? He was close, but look at what Cam Bynum's been doing, man. Look at Josh Metellus. Look at Josh Metellus, how impactful he is around the field, man. Rushing, playing in coverage. You know, that real good screen stuff that he had on Alvin Kamara that was crucial at the end of the game. Man, Brian Flores is a savage, bro, and it's clear to see. I mean, I don't think it would be that hard to be better than what Donatel brought to the table.
Well, yeah.
You know what I mean? So I was like, even when we got Brian Flores, I was kind of in the mode of, well, of course he's going to be better than Donatel, because me or you could have went in there and coached this team better than Donatel, right? But I mean, he's exceeded expectations, bro. Exceeded expectations, and I love how he rotates the players. I love how he rotates his players on defense. You could tell that Kevin O'Connell said, hey, here's the keys to the defense. I'm not going to tell you who to play. I'm not going to tell you when to play them. You know what I mean? You got more experience than me. Here's the keys. The defense is yours, all right? Everything else, you ain't even got to run it by me on what you got planned. Just let me know the game plan. That's it. But, hey, it's all yours. And you could tell, man, he rotates his players. Something that I wish Kevin O'Connell would do more, honestly, when it comes to putting the best players on the field. You know what I'm saying? I think Kevin O'Connell lacks that sometimes, man, because, hey, Jalen Naylor, he only had one catch today. I'm going to tell you right now, the way he looked quick. It's easy to look better than KJ Osborne. That's all I'm saying. Like, it's easy to look like a better wide receiver than KJ Osborne, man. And Brandon Powell. Easily should be playing above KJ Osborne. I don't give a damn. Even if KJ's healthy, he just looks like a better wide receiver, man. It's period, point blank, period. You know what I mean?
Let me get some shouts. I've been starring them up here, but we got Web Dev, bro. Man, we on the road,
bro.
What up, Web? We've got I Want to Mock Bob in the building. He said 13-4 again. He's saying let's go. I said I don't know about that, but we also got Young Cringe in the building. What's going on, Young Cringe? Good to see you here as well. Okay, couple of comments that I have starred for some feedback that I want to do. Someone said in the comment section one time, without Kirk, JJ wouldn't even be a wide receiver. I don't know who that was. I don't know who that was.
Who said some shit like that?
I don't know. Somebody dumb said that. But the point is that you can't, somebody we know, you can't argue the fact that JJ is on record pace and his quarterback's been Kirk Cousins. I'm like, that doesn't mean that he's only on a record pace because of Kirk Cousins. But I digress. We don't need to go down the Kirk Cousins.
Now, what I will say is, yes, a quarterback of Kirk Cousins' caliber will help that situation. I do got to admit that, right? Because Josh Dobbs, and it's probably, and a lot of it to do with the style of quarterback you have, because of Josh Dobbs is not going to sit back there and throw for 350 yards consistently like Kirk would. Like, Kirk can throw for 320, 350, 2-3 games in a row, 3-4 games in a row if he really sat back there and was in his zone. Like, we've seen him have streaks like that, Kirktober, right? Josh Dobbs is likely not going to happen. Like, we're going to have a lot of games with Josh Dobbs where he only throws for 195 yards, but he'll rush for another 70. So, yeah, there's not going to be as many yards to give Justin Jefferson. So I get that. But if Justin Jefferson gets a quarterback that is pass first, he would do that with any fucking quarterback that's pass first, bro. It's not just Kirk specifically. Like, come on, man.
Yeah. All right.
I hate that because it takes away from Jefferson, man. It makes it seem like he's not a good player or some shit.
The other thing, too, is just like, okay, you're saying that Jefferson is only that because of Kirk. I'm like, really?
That's not true. That's not true.
He's voted the number 2 guy in the entire NFL behind only Patrick Mahomes. And we're going to say it's only about Kirk. Okay, I'm moving on. I'm moving off that time. Okay, I want to get a couple from Steven here, and then we'll move on. Y'all, the reason we don't listen to Paul Allen, y'all tell it like it is and don't sugarcoat anything. We appreciate you, Steven. We appreciate it. Man. That's what you're going to get on Purple and Go for Days and Purple Pocket Podcast. We're not going to – and there's other content creators out there that are Ducky and Bunny, just like PA, and want to sugarcoat and
put a name on it, Day. Put a name on it.
Rainbows and purple for the Butterflies Win podcast. I don't know. And again, I don't begrudge. Hey, you know what? He's at 70-some thousand.
My boy calling him out.
He's doing something right. I'm just saying that I'm just saying that like that's not me. If I came out here and sugarcoated stuff, y'all would be putting in the chat like, who body snatched Justin and what's this doppelganger doing?
Man, listen, and y'all know how RAP rock, man. I ain't sugarcoating a goddamn. Listen, the only reason why I hit record is so that I could speak my mind, because my wife was tired of hearing me doing it to her. That she didn't give no damn about what the hell I was talking about. All she knew is that my team lost and I was mad as hell, and I'm venting to her, naming players and all this motherfucker. She's like, who? What does he do? And I said, you know what? Don't worry about it, baby. I'm gonna just turn the camera on and start doing that shit and start uploading the video. So maybe I'll find some friends to talk to about it. And that's what I did, man. And shout out to y'all, man. Love y'all to death. For sure. Now we can vent together and we can celebrate together like we do it now.
Hey, shout out to Yogi and Catch TYA, who they're also about to start a post-game show. So when we get done, we're going to put their link in the chat and send you all over there. Real quick recap, go ahead and hit the like button. And if you don't already subscribe to both channels, hit the subscribe button and get these numbers where they need to be so we can continue to grow this community. I had one more from Steven here. He says, can you go through the rest of the remaining schedule where you think the record will be? Let's not forget Naylor. Come back today. We got weapons, must be unleashed. All right. Well, real quick, let me pull up the schedule here, and we'll do this one quick with the right to change our opinions, because at the end of it, we don't know when we're going to get. I mean, obviously, if we don't get Jefferson back until after the bye week, that changes my opinion on the Bears. We should be able to beat regardless. But okay, next week against the Broncos, then the Bears, then the bye, then the Raiders, Bengals, Lions, Packers, Lions. I'm going to say it like this. I'm not going to go through one at a time. I'm going to say we beat the Packers. I'm going to say we beat the Raiders and the Bears. So that's 3 wins. If JJ is back next week against Denver, I definitely think they win. I think without JJ, it's going to be close because we're going on the road Sunday Night Football. I think we can get the Bengals. I really do. I'm not saying that I'm putting it down as a win just yet, but I put that one down as a loss at the beginning of the season and during the offseason. And now I think we got a shot. And I think we split with the Lions. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 wins for sure. So I'd say 4 or 5 more wins. So that'll get you to 10 or 11 wins on my side. What do you think?
Yeah, I could see us pulling out 10. I could still see the 10-7 type deal. Now, I mean, I think we're going to pretty much split the last games we got. I could see us pretty much splitting them in a way. I know you can't split them because the number's not even, but you know what I mean? Like, you're going to you'll win about 4 at the most of these 7, or you'll win
maybe 5. Maybe 5.
Maybe 5. Yeah.
Right, let's put it
I ain't gonna lie, man. I know we're saying that we're going to split with the Lions, man, but the Lions, bro, their offense, and yes, our defense is our strong point at this moment, in my opinion, but I'm going to tell you right now, bro, their offense is dog. Like the Lions, bro, they be scoring, bro, and their team is hey, look, I'm worried about the Lions, man. And y'all know I always talk shit about the Lions last year when everybody was like, oh, the Lions are different. I'm like, different where? Different where, man? The Lions are the damn Lions. But I'm gonna tell you right now, this year, oh yeah, it's different. They definitely hitting different this year, bro. Like, they hitting different.
David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs. They got 193 yards and 3 touchdowns combined. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 8 catches, 156 and a touch. Their offensive line is really, really good. And
they scored like 40 today, didn't they?
Yeah, they won 41-38 over the Chargers.
Now their defense obviously letting up 38 points. You know what I mean? That's a good sign for us. But still, yet, and I as far as trying to keep up with their offense, I think would be the issue.
Yeah,
like shootout games with them is hard because they can put up a lot of points.
I mean, it started off not good for the Chargers. They were down 24-10, but they managed to get it to 24-17 at the half. Then they tied it up at 24, and then, back and forth. And the Lions got the ball last, went on a 9-play, 53-yard drive to walk it off at the end. So it was a close game. But to your point, we got to come correct.
Now, I know we played them the last week, right?
Yeah, so we played them 2 out of the last 3.
Okay, so I could see like week maybe – because the Lions might be in a position where they say, hey, you know what, we're sitting our starters. So I guess I can see split if it comes down to that, where it's like, hey, it comes down to we need to win our last game against the Lions, but yet they already have something locked in and they sit Goff and their star players, and we go in there and get that win and make it in the playoff if they look out for us. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because, again, I don't feel that yucky feeling when I hype up the Lions and say that they're good. I would never do that for the Green Bay. I don't give a damn how good they are. I'm always going to say they trash. You feel me? And the Bears too. Like, for some reason, I don't like the Bears either. So, but the Lions, it's almost like I can sit here and say the Lions are good, and it doesn't give me that tingly feeling inside where I just want to like, break my stuff and shit like that. So I have no issue with the Lions, man. It's okay.
No, me neither. I mean, better the Lions than the Bears or the Packers.
Better the Lions than exactly. I think part of it's because I'm a Michigan Wolverine fan. You know what I mean? So that might be my little connection there.
What's up with your boy Harbaugh, by the way?
Man, Harbaugh, man. Hey, if you ain't cheating, man, you ain't trying to win. Man. You know what I mean? Like facts. Shout out to us, man.
I was just gonna say this, Anthony. Yes, we can be okay with the Lions winning the division and going to the playoffs because it's not the Packers or Bears. But you for dang Skippy, they better not win the Super Bowl before we do. But
hell no. Yeah, that better not. Yeah, no, that. Right. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. I agree, Anthony.
I'm just saying, like,
now that would be hard. If they do that, then yeah, it's F the Lions. I ain't never talking good about them no more. I'm gonna be upset, man.
Right.
You know what I mean,
no, you ain't lying. You ain't lying.
Okay. Upset, man.
You ain't lying. See what I did there?
Did you see the NFL? Did you see the NFL put Josh Dobbs as their cover photo on Twitter?
No, I didn't.
They put Josh Dobbs.
No, I've
been
driving.
Dobbs, we trust. Yeah, man. Official NFL Twitter did that, man. So shout out to Dobbs taking the league by storm right now, man. Dobbs gang, baby. Let's effing go, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm excited about this kid, man. I mean, I still, like you said, to your point earlier, I still want to see Hall play, but as long as Dobbs is playing, man, I think we're in a position as Vikings where there's no need to rush either of the two. It's unfortunate how Hall had to leave the game. Yes, that's unfortunate. But I don't think that if he's available, if Hall, obviously he should be able to play next week. I don't think you just say, okay, Dobbs, we're putting Hall in. Like, I think it should just be a competition now where, once Dobbs starts messing up, kind of like what the Falcons are doing, because they put Ritter back in today's game. And he came in and sparked the team, kind of. I mean, I think they still lost, but he came in and gave the team a little spark, man. So, kind of one of those situations, like, what do we have to lose in a way? Like, if Dobbs starts falling off the cliff, then, okay, just put Hall back in, you know what I mean, and see what we got. And then if it go vice versa, bring Dobbs back in, and maybe he'll be rejuvenated. And then we figured this quarterback shit out at the end of the season, man, because right now, I think we're in a better position than a lot of teams and then a lot of fans think, bro, with a guy like Dobbs and Hall on the roster, man.
Right.
And Sean Mannion, man. Don't forget Sean Mannion. No, I'm just tripping.
Hey,
that 19. Speaking of Sean Mannion, man, wearing 19, bro, man, take that shit off, Mannion. Like, for real, bro. Like that. I want to slap Mannion in his face, man. Don't wear 19, man. Why'd they let him do that? Who lets these guys pick these numbers, bro?
I don't know. I don't know. Web Dev, yes, we are all out. I mean, we've been out on him, and at this point, even if it wasn't Dobbs playing the way it is, we done with that. We done with that.
Yeah, I'm out on Kurt. I've been out on Kurt. Hey, Web Dev. Yeah, appreciate you tapping in the Purple Gang, man. Like,
absolutely.
Me, Day. Like, listen, make sure you subscribe to my channel as well. It's pinned in the comment. I think they pinned it in the comments.
Yeah, I pinned it up there.
Go over there and subscribe too. Listen, we've been out, man. I used to do curb sessions on Kirk. Like, I don't want to kick him while he's down now because he hurt.
Right.
Himself. This is kind of one of those things where, he ain't in the room. Don't talk about him because he can't defend himself. Well, that's how I feel now talking about Kirk, because I know he can't actually go out there and play on Sundays to make me look right. So it's one of those things where I'm trying to stay away from kicking a man while he's down. But I'm telling you right now, I've been wanting to move off this shit since 2018. I knew that Kirk is not a difference maker, and I still feel that way. Yes, he gets stats, and that's okay. Kind of like James Harden in the NBA. James Harden will score you a bunch of points, get triple doubles and all that, but he will never win you a playoff game. He'll never take your team, elevate your team to go to an NBA title, a championship. You have those type of players in every sport, and Kirk just happens to be that type of player in the NFL. So we need to move off of that, man. It's about team winning. And that's what we're seeing now. We have a quarterback that's not the world beater, but he possesses a certain skill that in today's NFL means the most. And he knows how to use it too. So shout out to him.
Right. Pretty quick, Steven. Pretty quick. We know how Diggsy is. But regardless, all right, we're going to wrap this up here in a couple minutes. Hit the reset button. Hit the like button if you didn't hit it on the way in. If you don't subscribe to both channels, that's Purple Pocket Podcast over there, and I'm Purple and Go for Days. You can see the flags hanging in the background, got our logos on it. Shout out to North. I haven't seen him in the building tonight, but North got those flags for us, so we appreciate him as well. Final thoughts going out of the building here tonight. I'm going to say this. We should be able to get Denver. I believe it was Skull Mafia that pointed out that Denver plays the Monday night game, so they're playing tomorrow night, so we're going to have an extra day of rest. I agree with you though. If Jaron Hall's ready to go, I'm sorry, you don't take the hot hand. I was a little back and forth on it last week because we both liked Jaron Hall and part of it was because we just wanted to see something different than Kirk. But no, at this point in time, you don't take him out until he has like 2 or 3 bad games in a row.
Yeah,
without question on that. But
your
thoughts
my thoughts, man, before we get out of here, man, is first of all, man, love everybody in the chat, man.
Absolutely.
Appreciate everybody in the chat that supported tonight, man. It means so much to us. We love doing this for y'all, and we're going to continue to do this. You know what I mean? And even through the off season, make sure y'all stay tapped in. I mean, that's a long time from now, but still, just to throw that out there. But man, what I feel like, in my honest opinion right now, I feel like that we are going to fall on our face in a way, not for the season, but something's telling me that Sunday feels like a trap game, man. Something's telling me that Sunday feels like I'm going to be mad as hell, man. There's just that feeling. And that might change as the week goes on because I am confident in this football team, but I also know how the NFL works, not just Vikings. Like the NFL just does weird shit. And I do believe that, the Denver Broncos are kind of hitting a little bit, man. They're not as bad as they started out. They are they won a cup. They put a couple wins together, and they do have a good coach. You feel me? They got a decent coach that can start meshing and getting those guys in the right position. But I think it'll be competitive, man. I'm not super scared, but it feels like a game that we could lose by a field goal or something, and we be mad about it and just be like, man, fuck. And then you got fans that are all draft J.J. McCarthy and Caleb Williams. We need to go get Caleb Williams because a lot of people, that only takes one game. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I'll say this. I'll say this about the Broncos: they beat the Packers and then they beat the Chiefs. They 24-9. They beat the Chiefs last week, so we can't sleep on them too much. I mean, there are other wins this season. The only other win they have is against the Bears, but they're going out to Buffalo tomorrow night. Well, they're probably out there now, so they got to go out to the East Coast and then come back back to Denver. So
shout out the money lines real quick, Dave, man. You got some colors going up in that chat right now, man. Shout out my boy Sodak.
We got Sodak with the $9.99 super chat.
Thank you. Rick Flynn there, man.
Yes, sir.
And then you got another one, man. Shout out to the
Web Dev. There you go.
Let's go, man. Shout out Web Dev, bro, man. We appreciate you, brother.
I'm gonna do one of these.
Yeah,
just one.
Look, Web Dev, bro, I want to see you over on Triple Peasy too when we go live over there too, man. I want to make sure you over there with us when we go live next Sunday, and then I also go live Fridays over there too. You know what I'm saying? So
let's hit the reset button on that. So I'm on Monday nights and Thursday nights at 8:15 Central Time. Skull for Days and Skull for Days Thursdays talkers. I do a crossover simulcast on Tuesdays at 6:30 Central Time with our guy Dave from Minnesota Sports Talk. Rap goes Friday night at 9:00 Central. What do you call your show? Or you just call
Friday night wrap up?
Friday night wrap up. There you go. I do a pregame show. Now, again, for the noon games, I do it at about 11:10. I'm not sure if I'm going to do a pregame next Sunday night or not. And there was a question, who had it here? Are you all going to do? You're on with SK on over on you with SK next doing the live stream.
You know what? I think we got a point. I think we're going to be on PSF. I think we are going to be on PSF on for the night game. I think me and SK did kind of lock into that, I believe. So I got to check the schedule. We'll let y'all know for sure. But yeah, man, me and Day, man, besides that, me and you definitely got to figure out a way to do rapping for days. I think that what would be good would be us doing it Monday night and maybe like excluding the Purple and Scold show. Like it just is what it is, like not doing that show and doing this show instead in that place. I think that would be lit because I like talking about after the game. I think me and you, that's the vibe, man. A pregame, it's cool, but fuck what we think gonna happen. I want to talk about what happened. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So let's lock that in, man. Let's lock that in. I mean, tell the people now, Day, are you willing to not do what is it? What's the name of the show you do Mondays?
Dave, Mike, and Kyler. There you go.
Are you willing to not do that show?
I got to think it through because if you and I do our show during that time slot at 6:30, I don't like that time slot because a lot of other.
No, we could do it later. I'm just saying do it on Monday, but I know you got your solo show too, though.
Right. We'll talk about it off air, ladies and gentlemen. We'll
Yeah,
talk
we'll do
about
that.
it off air.
Sure.
Whether it's Monday night or Tuesday, it'll either be Monday night or Tuesday night. We can definitively say that because
Right.
we're not going to
Absolutely.
go.
We're
We
not
ain't going to be
gonna wait
going
too
out
many
to Wednesday
days.
into
Yeah, for
talking
sure.
some crap like that.
Gotta be
But it
Monday or
probably will
Tuesday.
not be Sunday night. It probably won't be Sunday night because that's going to get late. You know, he's going to be doing a live stream for 3 hours talking all that. So I will say,
I mean, but I'm down to go live Sunday night though after the game if you want. I'm just throwing that out there too.
I would do it if
like
you.
I'm down to do an 11 o'clock live. I'm down to do 11. I'm down to do an 11 o'clock. Like honestly, if you want to. How about chat?
And maybe
let
here's
us know,
another
man.
thing. Here's another thing we can think about because it's going to be on your channel next week, regardless. Maybe we just started at 11 o'clock, even if the game's not over yet.
Or maybe we just do. How about this, chat? We got one better for you.
All right.
How about we just started? We could start even sooner than that and just start popping shit while the game's going on, maybe for the last quarter of the game. Maybe we'll start at the beginning of the fourth quarter.
All right,
and then just rock out. Let's do it, man. There we go, man. We just
we'll do a mini watch party.
We'll watch the fourth quarter. We'll start it at the start of the fourth quarter. We'll start the show, y'all, and then we'll just start popping from there. Let's get it, man.
Would you all do something dirty? I've done a watch party once. I did it for the 49ers game. It's kind of one of those things where hold on.
Yeah, I did one too, man. You know, they're long.
It is.
I am doing a watch party, Steven, though, man. PSF with my boy SK. There's an app. It's a free app, man. PSF. You know, it's a free app. And you know what I mean? Download it. It's called Pro Sports Fan and Skull Mafia. There's people in the chat that'll give you kind of an insight, and they're over there with us. And me and SK stream the game over there, and it's fun as hell. Like you can use GIFs in the chat. Like it's set up like YouTube in a way, but there's a lot more features as far as you being able to comment and stuff. And we can bring you in to talk and all that. It's fun as hell. So download the app if you get a chance and join the Vikings chat room. It's crazy. Dave from Minnesota Sports Talk streamed the game today over there. So shout out to PSF, man. And yeah, we'll do that Sunday as well. But then I'll jump on with Day. We'll do the fourth quarter. You know what I mean? I'll tell SK, hey, look, you know, we're getting out of the fourth quarter, man. We got to get up out of here. Show. So,
either way, we'll put it on the community tabs.
Usually
we have these conversations off there, but in all seriousness, and Skull for Life Barber, he co-signs with you right now.
Yeah, man. Shout out Skull for Life Barber, man. He's always over there, man.
All right, in all seriousness, we're going to get up out of here. Rap and I will talk a little bit off air about what we finna do next weekend, but hit the subscribe buttons to both Purple Pocket Podcasts. That's him.
Dobbs gang, let's go.
Purple and Gopher Days. That's me.
Ice T.
I said thank you to Evil.
That's Skull Vikes, baby, man. Y'all make sure y'all drop a skull in the chat before y'all leave out the building, man. Drop a skull in the chat, man. I love skulls in the chat, man, before everybody go.
Real quick.
Oh, dang, is that your father?
That's my pops. So
Let's go, Pops.
Give him a Ric Flair. Give him a Ric Flair.
Let's go, Pops. Hey, Pops in the building, man. Let's go.
And a Ric Flair.
Shout out Pops in the building. For sure.
All right, Pops. Appreciate you. So, yes, I forgot to text you and Mom that I got home. But as you can see, I'm home just fine. But thank you so kindly for joining us. Everybody,
he about to be on punishment. Yeah, put him on punishment, Pops. Put him on punishment.
I want to thank everybody tonight for joining us. Shout out to Sodek and shout out to Web Dev for the super chats here tonight. I will again be on tomorrow night, 8:15 Central Time. We will put it out there both on our Twitter pages as well as our community pages, whatever we decide for next week's Rapping for Days. For Purple Pocket Podcast, this is Purple and Gopher Days. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Y'all have a great evening. Skull Vikings. That's 5 in a row, baby. Skull Vikings.